This is Tech 5 News. GitHub Spark lets you build web apps in plain English. When GitHub Copilot launched and started auto-completing lines of code and later entire code snippets, the question many people were asking was, how long until we can just describe an app in natural language and Copilot will build it for us? We've seen quite a few experiments in this arena in recent months, but now GitHub itself is throwing its weight behind this idea with the announcement of GitHub Spark at the company's annual GitHub Universe conference in San Francisco. Spark, which is officially an experiment the company is launching out of its GitHub Next Labs, allows you to quickly build a small web app using nothing but natural language. Experienced developers can still see and edit the code, and underneath it all is a GitHub repository, GitHub Actions, and Microsoft's Azure Cosmos DB as the default database for applications that need one, but that's optional. Ideally, you'll be able to use a chat-like experience to create a prototype and then refine it in subsequent steps. To build an app, you start with the initial prompt, and Spark will show you a live preview within a few seconds. From there, you can fine-tune the app and iterate by going back and forth with the bot. And here's a video on how you can do that, so let's check it out.
Ideas are sparks of curiosity, but they don't just happen when we're using a laptop at our desk. They can happen anywhere, and that's why GitHub Spark has been built with mobile in mind. GitHub Spark allows you to build personalized microapps by using natural language. So let's imagine that we're a content creator who creates shows that follow a standard time schedule. So let's create an app that helps keep time for live sessions. Great, we have a good starting point. Now let's use natural language to iterate over those changes. Let's allow the user to start, pause, and reset each timer. And let's also make the user interface a bit clearer. Yep, that works. Good, and let's make it more obvious to the user that the timer is up. So if a timer hits 0, then it should flash red. Now, it's not often you want to see a red flashing warning. Nice. Let's provide some additional visual cues for the user so they know how much time is left. We'll add a reverse progress bar, if that's such a thing, so they can gauge how much time is left. Great, that's exactly what I imagined, decreasing alongside the timer. And let's make sure they can update the titles and durations of existing cards. Now, we all know naming is a hard computer science problem, so let's just call this new. And let's add another visual cue, adding an indicator of the time remaining. So show a green circle if there's more than 50% of the time, amber if it's between 25 and 50%, and then red if it's less than 25%. Now, before we see that indicator, let's open up the sidebar. Notice how the timers are stored as state. It's provided as a capability built into GitHub Spark, and we can edit the details here, and they'll update in our app view. So now we're counting down from 10, and hopefully... Cool, looks like that timer updated, and the indicator works well. Now, we've made some great progress on our app, but what if we wanted to incorporate the power of AI? Wouldn't it be great if we could allow a user to create timers based on a description in natural language? GitHub Spark is able to call large language models from inside the Sparks or microapps that you create. So let's create 2 5-minute stanzas and a 3-minute outro.